Assalamu alaikum. We are again live from Samarkand for the World Rapid and Blitz Championship 2023. Now we've got the last day of the tournament, and now there are going to be 9 rounds today, and we will try to cover everything and explain everything to you, everything you need to know.
So in the first board, Maxim Vachier-Lagrave is playing against Magnus Carlsen. Let me remind you, there are 6 leaders now. There were 8, but after Jan Nepomniachtchi and Daniel Lubov were fined half points, they have got now 8 points, and
8.5.
yeah, and now there are 6 leaders. So let's see the first game.
In the first game, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave from France is playing against world best and reigning World Rapid and Blitz champion Magnus Carlsen. So Maxime started the game with e4. Carlsen is going for Sicilian defense. Knight f3, knight c6, d4.
So just opening here. So as you can see, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is now a pawn ahead.
And computer is also favoring white right now. Maxime's got a lot advantage out of the opening. That's something unusual when you are playing against world's best Magnus Carlsen.
So here Maxime Vachier-Lagrave wants to bring his rook to c3 and start attacking the queen, or he may even bring his rook to h3 and just bring his queen to h5, start attacking the king.
Now I think white's going to castle first, right? Yes, he castled first. Now black's got the move of c5, bring the queen to an active square to the center of the board nearly, to c5. The 8 came here.
c4 and queen b4, attacking the pawn on a5. So let's see the second game, in which Vladislav Artemiev is playing with white against Alexander Ryazantsev.
So let's see which opening did they play. So you got
English opening,
okay,
which turned to kind of queen's pawn opening.
So in this second board, Vladislav Artemiev from Russia is playing against Alexander Ryazantsev. So we have come here. Now white seems to castle. Oh, he didn't want to even castle, just move the forward king to f2.
Now he can bring his rook
to the center of the board to e1.
Yeah, and then kind of bring a king, the black king here.
Okay, now pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn with a great possibility.
So there is a result on the 6th table. Alexander Shimanov played draw with Mamediyarov Shahryar.
A very early draw after 16 moves. They agreed for a draw.
So looks like they traded their pieces.
Yeah.
And
even there were 5 major pieces on each side of the board. They still agreed to a draw, which may seem a little bit suspicious, considering yesterday Jan Nepomniachtchi and Daniel Lubov played against each other, and they just moved the knights only, like 8 or 10 moves with the knights. They just changed the knight on g1 and brought it to b1 and vice versa. So after careful consideration of FIDE arbiters, they just decided the game was,
was kind of planned
beforehand, and so that they just fined them for half points, which they got from that draw.
But they also gave an appellation for that to reconsider their decision, but that was declined.
Yes, but on the other hand, we have seen other games where there were draws after 4 or 5 moves, but they were not fined, or arbiters didn't find anything unlawful there.
So in the third board, 2 Indian grandmasters are playing with each other. Nihal Sarin with white and Ergay Arjun with black. So knight f3 was played.
Mm-hmm.
d5, e3, ready opening.
Okay.
So bishop c4. So far developing the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They also traded their bishops here. As you can see now, white is bringing his pieces to the king's side, as there is double pawn here and the king here is opened. But Ergay Arjun is planning to bring his knight to g6 and close the way to attack to the king.
After it goes to g6, the black king is relatively safe, and there is no need to worry. And the evaluation bar also agrees with us, and it's saying it's a draw right now. Exchange of rooks, and again exchange of rooks, exchange of pawns. Now we are going to the end game here. After 30 sword move, now black is requesting queen's exchange, but
here
he
it was
accepts.
mistake. After knight c6. Let's see. After knight, so they played knight c6, and now there is a check from here, and Nihal Sarin can bring his knight from there. So he decides to give a check first.
But that was a mistake apparently, because the evaluation bar has just equalized,
And
now again it's favoring
white. So if Nihal Sarin will play with his queen to a1, now it's under attack. The black king is under attack.
Now white made a mistake here and went to f6 with his knight, but that seems to be a mistake, as we can see the evaluation bar just dropped to equal again.
As you can see, they both got very few seconds on their clock.
So that's why they're not making the most accurate moves.
Here there is also danger from h5, which to which queen can be brought, just given a checkmate.
So a little bit problem with internet connection, I think. So maybe let's just okay.
Magnus Carlsen
Now we are
lost the
fine.
game now. Maxim
Whoa.
Vachilagraf just defeated Norwegian Grandmaster.
It is Magnus Carlsen's first time in this World Rapid and Blitz Championship 2023. He has just lost his first match against Maxim Vachilagraf.
So we saw this part of the game. It was favoring white.
Okay.
As you remember, here now after the trade of queens, whites are a pawn ahead, and as you can see, this pawn here is very dangerous, especially considering that the pawn on b7 is weak
and difficult to defend because white's got
so Maxim Vachilagraf
bishop here.
decided to sacrifice his rook for knight,
and
and
was
then
it-
just
was the mistake
attack.
or was
No.
just good move, right?
Yeah. And now, as you can see, these pawns are ready to attack the defense of black, and this pawn on d3 is soon to be captured.
Yeah, there is no way to defend the pawn on d3 here.
So now offering a trade of rooks. If they trade it, here as you can see, the pawns are ready to become a queen.
Then it would be a theoretical win for white in the end game here. Now black and white are pushing their pawns. Black just sacrificed his pawn on f2. Okay.
So Vachilagraf is now trying to bring his pawn to the 8th row. As you can see, there are now two pawns here.
And one of them is gonna promote.
And on the other hand, Magnus Carlsen has one pawn on f2,
But
which is also going to be
queen.
to become a queen.
But the f1 square is covered by the bishop on c4, so white will go to the 8th and 7th rank of black side and will just push the pawns and win the rook there.
It was this situation when Magnus Carlsen decided to resign the game after king c7, and just these pawns are pushed to queen, and that's surely losing for black.
So let's go to Vladislav Artemiev's game, the second board.
Here it's favoring Vladislav Artemiev, as you can see. Looks like they've played a lot here.
Looks like Vladislav was up a pawn here.
So just the middle game here, as you can see. Now this pawn on d5 is under attack with knight, rook and queen, whereas Ryazantsev Alexander has only got knight, which is defending that pawn. Now as you can see it's captured, and Vladislav Artemiev is now a pawn ahead here.
And he's going to exchange everything and going to an end game where he will be a pawn up, and he will try to capitalize that pawn to a queen and win the game.
So now they traded their rooks. Alexander Ryazantsev is trying to somehow prolong the game and seeking a way to give a perpetual check, maybe.
But the last move to b4 seems to be not liked by computer, and the situation seems to be equal again.
So now after that, Vladislav Artemiev got now both Vladislav Artemiev and Maxim Vashelograf has now got 10 points, and they are now leading the tournament as the third board, as the pairings in the third board came to a draw, as you can see.
Yeah, two Indian grandmasters decided to draw their game, and maybe we can go to the fifth board where Dunal Dabiev.
Daniil Dubov defeated Tabatabai. So now Daniil Dubov is half point ahead of Magnus Carlsen, and half point down Maxim Vashelograf and Vladislav Artemiev.
So let's see the game, which move openings they play. So we've got the Queen's Gambit, declined for now. Now accepted, Queen's Gambit accepted. Queen sees, okay. Exchange of some pieces here.
So as you can see here, these pawns are weak compared to the pawn to b2.
Yeah, there are double pawns on the c file, and there is just pawn on a5 that's isolated, and that's really difficult to defend.
So now Amir Tabatabai is offering a trade of pawns, which is beneficial for him.
Yes.
And he reached that. As you can see now, Daniil Dubov just captured the pawn on e5, and there is equal in terms of number of pieces and pawns. But as you can see, Daniil Dubov is really attacking in a high manner.
And he's got the pair of bishops, which are really, good in such endgames where there are pawns on each side of the board.
So now, as you can see, this attack here is dangerous. Rook b6, and as you can see now, Daniil Dubov will
found the right way to go.
Will be now another pawn ahead here. As you can see, he's now pawn ahead.
And this is just a winning pawn in endgame. So now he's gonna win. Yeah, he won the
another pawn.
And he will just try to capitalize those pawns and go to the 8th rank of the black pieces.
And now the pawn on h7 is also captured here.
There is not much left on the board, especially with the black pieces. There are just three pieces left, and one of them is king.
And this is really easy for Daniil Dubov to win this game with the passed pawn on here.
Yes.
It's supported by king and bishop on d4. If knight will try to defend somehow that pawn, this pawn here will also pass to b8.
Okay.
And that's winning for white, as you can see. to the game of Indian
Well,
Grandmasters.
yes. Yep. Maybe to the ninth board where Khan Christoph Duda defeated Jawahar Sindar from Uzbekistan, and that's not something I was expecting actually.
So they played Rui Lopez.
Rui Lopez,
So as you can see now, the knight here came to like this, attacking the bishop on h5, and these two knights are concentrated to jump to the f5.
Now Black seems to castle queenside. Yeah, they didn't castle, or did they?
They did.
Yes.
After some moves, as you can see now.
Because even the pawns were pushed forward, but the black king, the queenside, is really safe right now.
The position is equal relatively here. Well, you can see no one so far is attacking really massively. But now Duda Young Christoph is slowly trying to somehow bring his pieces and start attacking the black pieces.
He just lined up his rooks on the f file, and pawn. Okay. After an exchange of pawns here, now white. Oh, that was the big blunder of the game. That was the game that cost Jawahar Sindar the match here.
So if it was captured, which was captured, and it was played queen d1, if that was continued by rook e2, there would be a fork by queen from f3, as you can see, and this rook here is captured.
And it
This bishop is also under attack, as you can see.
So Jawahar made a mistake while he had 20 seconds on his clock.
Yeah, he had more than Duda Young Christoph, as you can see.
Yeah, but he just rushed a little bit and just lost the match, which was going for a draw.
He now returned. Now, as you can see, Duda Young Christoph got two knights for a rook
And
with two pawns. With a pawn.
With a pawn, but these two knights are really dangerous because they can fork.
And especially if you pay attention to this to this pawn on c7, black now either this queen or this rook has to defend this pawn, and these are really concentrated. But these pieces of black, the queen and rook, are well attacking, but this is really well defended by knights and queen here.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's surely winning for Duda Young Christoph.
Even if he didn't play the most accurate moves, he still has advantage.
With the threat to give a check and then mate.
Yes.
So as you can see now, another checkmate from here.
Now Jawahar Sindar is just hoping for a miracle here, because he's now down 3 pawns and 2 knights against 1 rook, and it's just losing endgame for black.
Duda Young Christoph could have given here checkmate in 4 moves after moving his knight to c7, giving a check from here, and after it's blocked by a queen, give another check from here and give a checkmate from b7. But he just played c5.
He wanted to play solidly, not to risk anything. Okay.
And this is winning for Duda Young Christoph.
Yes. Now the pawn on c6 is also going to make a queen in the next few moves, and there is really no way to defend them because white's got 2 knights, and if they just cover the c8 square, then pawn will just promote and just win the rook, and white will be up 2 knights and 3 or 4 pawns. And
let's talk about another hero of yesterday, Jan Nepomniachtchi.
Yeah, another hero of the yesterday.
Who played with black against Volodar Murzin.
Okay.
So they played queen's pawn opening.
So it became London system. They just exchanged a lot of their materials. Now they both got one knight and a pair of rooks with their queen.
And I
But
think,
Black is just winning here, but because he's got a pass pawn on a5 and he's now up a pawn.
and I think after they are soon going to trade their queens,
Mhm.
because that's like very common among grandmasters. So
Yeah.
they did. But now Murzin Voladar just returned the lost pawn by capturing it on g5.
And the pawn structure is equalized. They both have got 4 pawns each, but no, Black's down a pawn here.
So Murzin Voladar is sacrificing his knight by capturing the pawn on e6,
Uh-huh.
and he is now gaining another pawn. So he just exchanged the knight for 3 pawns here.
And that doesn't seem to be a mistake.
So here Black could just move with his pawn to d4 and come to d1 and
Okay.
become a queen here.
Mhm.
But he decided to move with his rook to f7,
But he moved his rook to a wrong square to f7.
f3, and in this situation they decided to draw. That's
Yeah.
really equal for both sides.
So here, Jan Nepomniachtchi couldn't capitalize the mistakes of White and just win the game because he lost half points because of the draw they made with Daniel Dubov yesterday. Now he's got 9 points out of 13
And he played with Magnus Carlsen,
already, and they made a draw yesterday.
so he may face either Nihal Sarin or Ergay Siarjun. Um, I, I don't know if he played with any of them.
Mhm. So let's go to Nodirbek Absattorov's game, another strong grandmaster from Uzbekistan.
Maybe Vahidov Shamsuddin.
Yeah. Wahid Thompson has got 7.5 points out of 13 here, and he just lost his game again.
Against Salem Saleh, the very good grandmaster from United Arab Emirates.
So let's see which opening did they play. So before, now we got this situation after this moves, and the pawn on h5, h4 is just taking space from White, and now this knight can only go to here or here, which are really, it would do nothing there. And the bishop and this knight is attacking the pawn on e4, but it's defended with 3 major pieces of black.
So White may try out something like bishop a3
Mhm.
and bringing queen to b1, start attacking the pawn on e4, or he may even offer trade of pawns after defending this pawn on e3. So yeah, he played f3 here.
After exchange,
So
knight came to the square of the pawn that has just been traded off.
So now Wahidov Shamsuddin is a pawn ahead, as you can see here, and that was quite well for black.
So here, the computer is just favoring black massively. It's saying a winning situation, but after this rook takes rook on e1, it's just favoring white.
So this was even a worse mistake. He could have bring his rook to e8 and not give this queen to.
Infiltrate to e8, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
but he decided to capture the pawn on d5.
All right.
Now, as you can see, this after this move,
And
there is a fork
yeah,
for bishop and knight here.
there's a two-side attack. Now, one of the major pieces of black will just drop for nothing.
So you can say like Wahid of Shamsuddin could have defended with his bishop by moving it to c8, but that's just gonna follow with knight here to f8.
And a check from e7.
Yeah, with knight here,
Uh-huh.
and that's really winning for Salem Saleh after capturing the bishop on e7, or he may just even capture the pawn on d5 and then capture the rook on a8.
At one point of the game, Waqid Shamsuddin had a winning chance, but as he didn't see that he had an advantage, he just blundered his by moving to the rook from e8 to e1 by taking the rook, and that was the game changer here. After that move, White took over the control and just won the game.
So that's winning for white. As you can see, there is like checkmate in 5,
Huh?
and player from United Arab Emirates got much more time compared to Wahid of Shamsuddin. Though it's like 15 seconds, it's really a
Yeah.
lot for.
When you are playing a blitz match where you got 3 minutes main time and 2+ increment, and 20 seconds is really good time compared to 4 seconds on the clock.
So let's see whether the pairings have been announced.
Yes, they have been.
Magnus Carlsen is playing against Alexei Sarana, and leaders are playing with
Whoa.
each other.
Two leaders who's got 10 points after 13 rounds are
After 13 rounds.
Vladislav Artemiev and Maxim Vasily are going to play each other. So if they draw the game, and the players who are half point down can reach to their level, and just the list of leaders could increase. But if one of them wins the game, if the game ends in a decisive result, then one of them will lead the tournament solely
I think they'll go for a draw here.
by like maybe after move 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just trading everything off, just trying to make it like not arranged. like, Comparing yesterday's match of Jan Nepomniachtchi.
But here Daniil Dubov may try to win the game against Arjun Erigaisi with black pieces.
Okay.
And we can see Yu Yang-yi here, who wasn't performing well. He just came to the 4th board playing against another Indian grandmaster, Nihal Sarin. So they started their games. Here
Now it's going to be Rui Lopez with a great possibility. So let's see.
there was also a lot of bishop c4 yesterday.
Yeah, Italian games.
Let's see the first board here. It was played Sicilian defense.
Yeah, Sicilian defense is really famous here in Blitz match, as we didn't see it as often as in this tournament in the Rapid Championship.
So Maxim Vashyalagraf and Ladislav Artemiev, they played Reti opening. Here now, blacks are maybe thought like blacks are having an advantage in the center, but after e4, now it's not. The dominance is like in the middle.
Now, if the pawn on e4 takes the pawn on d5 here, then the pawn here will be under attack. But black decided to take the pawn on e4. They just exchange their pawns. Now, if they exchange their queens in such early stage of the game, then the game will very much likely end in a draw.
Here, in the 3rd board, it was played Indian defense.
King's Indian defense, yes. So, white's got the big center, the 3.
So yeah, after like this position.
He was en passant to e6, and bishop took the pawn and activated at the same time.
It's a bit, as you can see, favoring for white here. The dominance on the center is giving a little advantage for the Indian grandmaster.
Because this bishop here on e6 doesn't have so many squares to go. This square is blocked with its own knight, and it just went back to open up the diagonal, and it can go here. The knight can also not go here. This knight can also not go here, and the pawns on c4 and e4 are just actively taking over the control of the d5 square.
Let's see the game of another Indian grandmaster who's
Mhm.
playing against Yu Yang.
Okay.
They agreed to draw in 10 moves
Yeah, it's
after
another Rui Lopez.
Rui Lopez. So here they agreed to draw, and
Even if white's a pawn up here, they know that this is theory. That pawn was just given away only to be captured after in the game, only to speed up the activation process of major pieces.
now they both got 10 points.
So even if Magnus Carlsen lost his match against Maxim Agraviev, and he's not leading the tournament, he will still be playing the first board until the end of the tournament, right?
Yeah,
Because
he's current champion.
yes.
And now Magnus Carlsen has a really good move by Rook B7.
So we have seen here, Alexei Sarana pushed all of his pawns on the queen side to the center of the board. Pawn takes pawn. Okay. Now the action seems to be going on the queen side. We saw the rook left, and the rook is attacking the bishop on b7. And
Yeah.
is he just giving up?
No, knight c5 and then capturing. And as you can see now, Magnus Carlsen is having a bishop and the knight for.
He didn't make the
rook.
most accurate move because he could have just taken the knight on b7, but he just wanted to give a check first.
Mm.
And here, Alexei Sarana is thinking about his next move, whether to block the way with the knight on f6 or maybe just move the king up to e7.
I think that's winning for Magnus Carlsen.
Yes.
He usually doesn't like miss these chances.
Yes.
After knight d7, he took the pawn on e6.
He wants to go for a checkmate early in the game, I think.
So if it was played g6 here, there was queen e5.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's attacking this.
And the rook on h8 is also hanging.
Pawn on e6.
Whoa,
There is also a move of bishop g5. Rook can be brought to d1. Knight can be brought to e4.
The black's just stuck in the middle of the board, not even able to castle. The pawn structure is destroyed.
So,
And-
so after queen h5, king e7, rook d1, planning to give a check from g5. Queen c7.
Queen just moved out of the way of the pin.
Looks like within the minute, Alexei Sarana will resign the game.
Yes. The black king seems to be really uncomfortable. White's got a pair of bishops here.
Knight f6. Queen e2.
Whoa, that seems to be a big mistake here. Maybe a blunder even. Because as you can see, the evaluation bar just dropped so much. Here.
Queen e2.
And black just found the right way to go. Maybe if he tries to make the accurate moves, he can make the game draw even.
Exchange their knights, and now Alexei Saran is trying to escape with his king to a safer place
Yeah.
after bringing his rook to somewhere here.
But white doesn't want to allow that and just attacking the pawn on h7. If the rook moves out to d8, the pawn will drop on h7.
So there was attack from b4, as you can see, rook b4, and the position got stable a little bit here.
So far, Alexei Sarana is just trying to defend, and he seems to be doing it very good because Magnus Carlsen doesn't have so much advantage, but Alexei Sarana is down 30 seconds in the game, even if he's one pawn up.
Let's see what's happening on the second board. We're estimating that they will go for a draw, but looks like they are playing until the end they've traded their queens, as you told, and knights too.
They're just trading off everything. Like he has. Oh,
Rook g1.
I, we can see like 3 pawns on the white side, but such kind of games usually end in a draw, even with the best play. Now there are 2 pawns on each side and 1 rook and 1 knight each. So they will maybe potentially in a 30 seconds time will.
So they agreed to draw
Yeah,
here.
they even agreed to it right now.
And Magnus Carlsen here won the game. It was like it got stable, if you remember.
Yes.
But looks like Alexei Sarana made a mistake here by moving his rook to d2. He didn't protect the 7th row, the invasion of rook here. And after rook a7, d7, this was followed, and
Yeah.
the rook is captured.
Now
so
the fork here on rook on d7 and queen on b5. If queen moves out of the way, then white will just lose 1 full rook against nothing.
yeah, and there is which will be followed by checkmate.
Yeah, there's going to be checkmate in the next few moves.
So Magnus Carlsen made his points to 10.
So as we can see in the 8th board, Fabiano Caruana is also going up to the boards and he's just increasing his points. We were not seeing him in the top 10 boards in both of the championships, and Rapid and Blitz.
Yeah, he was just played in the second board in Blitz Championship because he had
the highest, one of the highest ratings.
yeah,
But as he didn't play very well, just lost some points, he
he just declined in the standings.
We got the London system here. Okay.
So now it's favoring black, as you can see. There is this pawn here wants to be captured by this bishop here, followed by queen here and knight b4. So yeah, it was done like that, and that's really winning for black. As you can see, that's like really completely destroyed the defense of white.
Okay.
And there is soon going to be checkmate in 2 moves. Let us see that. Yeah, so knight d3, and after there's a checkmate after rook c2. So it looks like there is an interesting game happening here. Arjun Erigaisi and Daniil Lubov. It's a bit favoring white, so that's why Indian Grandmaster wants to realize his rook against bishop here.
The computer is saying the game is totally equal. Black's got a way to defend, but when there is like less than 10 seconds on the clock, it's really difficult to defend against a rook. But
yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, because this bishop just preventing the white king from coming here. Even if the king goes to here, and the king here cannot go after the pawns on f6, g6, and h5.
So the only thing that Daniil Dubov should do is just move with his king from f7 to f8.
Okay.
And just move with his bishop from f5 to g4, h3. So in these three sides. So Arjun Erigaisi wants to try once again with his knight, which he brought from d6 to g2, as you can see. So Jawahar Sindarov won, defeated. Also, there was an interesting game between 2 Nodderbecks.
Whoa.
Yakuboyev Nodderbek lost with white pieces.
We have seen such kind of match in September, where they were playing in the Qatar Masters tournament. They played against each other for a tie break for the first place. But in that game, Nazarbek from Uzbekistan, Nazarbek Yakuboyev won Abdusattorov Nazarbek, but he seems to have come back, Nazarbek Abdusattorov, and just won his game with the black pieces. So we got the Queen's Gambit declined for now. If the pawn, now when we got the Queen's Gambit declined, the situation is going for some kind of close position. Yes. Now a lot of pawns are going to exchange. As you can see, there is so many tension here. With this, like this.
So now they exchange their bishops here on
Now,
d3.
The situation is going for close position. If this pawn goes to here, it will be impossible for white and black to enter the opponent's position from the queen side. Okay.
So they just double their rooks on A, both players here,
Yes.
trying to prepare the capturing the pawn on b4, and it was quite stable for some time. And Abdusattorov Nazarbek brought his queen 2 to this line. As you can see now, queen and 2 rooks are staring at this file, and Abdusattorov Nazarbek is somehow trying to bring his knight to e4 and open up the game.
Okay.
After knight e5, it's a bit favoring black now. As you can see, this pawn on d4 is attacked by knight, and after the knight on e5 was captured,
there are 8 pawns on each side. Look at this. It's a really close position.
so it's going to be opened up soon. As you can see, it started already.
Yakuboyev made a mistake of pushing the pawn from g3 to g4 here.
Right, g3, and now this is very losing for black
Yeah,
after exchange.
Black would have just won pass pawn there.
So yeah, that's really winning for black after it's going to be exchanged. And well, Yakuboyev Nazarbek has to capture the queen on a3, as there is danger of giving check from h3 and checkmate from h5 and checkmate from h5.
No, right now Nazarbek Abdusattorov's got like 9 points, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken too.
Maybe you can go to Jawahar Sindarov's game.
There's also Wahid Jahangir here.
Oh, he lost. But maybe for see a happy result, like win, rather than losing. Okay. Yeah, here on the 26th board,
On
24th board, Alexander Rakhmonov plays against Jawahar Sindarov with the white pieces.
So it followed queen's pawn opening, and so king's Indian defense.
And after both of the
Play-
bishops have been exchanged,
So now this c file is open.
and the rooks are soon going to be there. And
So Sindarov Jawahar is trying to bring his king to g7 and queen d7 and bring his another rook to the game.
well, why didn't he just castle here? Like, castling wouldn't be better?
No, like he already moved with his rook.
So it was impossible for him to castle here.
So that's again came to equal. Queen knight g3 with an idea of giving a fork from f1. So queen g5, and that was losing for Rakhmonov Alexander after bishop a6. But Sindarov Jawahar didn't do that. He instead just pushed with his queen to f4 and giving a double check from f1 and then checkmate from h2. So that was winning for Sindarov Jawahar. So the first 3 tables agreed to draw, and that's really good for both Jan Nepomniachtchi and Magnus Carlsen, as they won their games. There's also Sudler Petter, Fabiano Caruana, Livon Aronian, who are also playing really well here. Let's see whether the so round 14 haven't ended here. Looks like the first 13 games have come to an end, but so yeah, so there is no game left on board on round 14, and we are waiting for round 5 pairings to be announced soon. So Jan Nepomniachtchi is now has won Shimanov Alexander with white pieces. He played e4, and Shimanov Alexander decided to go with French defense here. As you can see, this is an opening, beginning of the game, as they call debut. So, as you can see now, Shimanov Alexander just made a mistake here by moving his bishop to c8, and after knight c6, rook d7 was another mistake, which gave an opportunity for Jan Nepomniachtchi to increase his advantage after bishop a4 and bishop c5. That's like winning for Jan Nepomniachtchi. There's soon going to be the capture of rook with bishop. So as you can see, this wants to capture the knight on d7, and that's winning for Jan Nepomniachtchi, for Russian player. So yeah, just after several moves, Shimanov Alexander resigned the game. So if that's followed by king e4, the bishop on f5 is captured, and this pawn is passed to queen. Ryazantsev Alexander also played the draw with Dudayan Christoph. So they played queen's pawn opening, so king's Indian defense. So they've traded their pieces, as you can see here. Their bishops and queens too, and that's really equal in this position. It's really hard to realize the advantage of having a pass pawn on a4 because there are two rooks here. As you can see, that's not that hard to understand why they agreed to draw. So yeah, in that case, Dudayan Christoph will just move with his king along this 8th or 7th row, and Ryazantsev Alexander will just give checks with his rooks, starting from d6 until h6. So that's draw. Petr Svidler also beat Shahryar Mamediyarov on the 7th board. So it was followed d4, knight f6, again king's Indian defense here, knight e5. So as you can see, the game is quite okay, but after rook b3, as you can see, after rook b3, that's giving advantage for black. After queen c5, it's now, as you can see, attacking the pawn on f2. There is a danger of bringing bishop to d4, bishop f5, attacking that, and there is also another attack with knight here, with knight a3, and then capturing the rook on b3. So yeah, it was followed like that. So rook c1 was another mistake here. So Shahryar Mamediyarov could have just moved with his pawn to g5 and won another bishop here, but he just decided to go with his rook, and even that was a mistake. It's still winning for black. As you can see, it's not that hard to win that. And Sudler Petr is bringing his king to this side, where there is a pass pawn. And in this position, Mamidar Shahryar decided to resign the game here.
So after these results, Magnus Carlsen won his game, and he's now got 10 points out of 14, right?
And yeah, and is now facing Arjun Erigaisi.
So
And Vladislav Artemiev is playing against Sudler Petr with black pieces.
we've got very good pairings. Look at that. There are 5 boards. The first 5 boards are going to be really interesting. Look at that.
Maxim Vashelograf is playing against Daniil Dubov.
Michal Sarin is playing against Yan Nepomniachtchi.
Fabiano Caruana against Yu Yang-gi. And there's also Duda Yan Christoph on the 6th board playing against Arseny Nesterov.
Okay.
There's also Levon Aronian playing against Alexander Ryazantsev.
And on the 11th board, the one that we little care about, Jawahar Sindar from Uzbekistan is going to play against Alexei Saran.
Followed by the game of Nurbek Abdusattorov
Oh,
against Narayanan.
Satar has also went up to the so many boards. Now he's got, I think, 9.5 points or 9 points.
Let's see that.
Let's check that out. So the game hasn't started yet. Here on the 17th board, we got Murad Muhammad against Farham Maksudlu. In the 18th board, Vidi Santosh Gujarati from India against Murzin Waladar. Murzin Waladar was playing in the top 5 boards yesterday, but I think he's not having a good day today. Another interesting match here. Gukesh Namaraju is going to play against Denis Lazavik from Ukraine. A very young grandmaster, a very strong one.
Yeah, isn't Denis Lazak playing under the flag of FIDE?
Yeah, you mean he's from Russia?
Maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, we'll check that out later. So on the 29th board here, Wahidov Jahangir is playing against Ruslan Panamaryov, who had a relatively good rapid championship.
So if you remember, Wahidov Jahangir in the second round played the draw with Magnus Carlsen with white pieces, and that helped some other players to lead the tournament.
To reach the same point as Magnus Carlsen, right?
Yeah.
So we got so many interesting games here. The first 5 boards are going to be really heated, and after this round by round, the games are going to get only more interesting here, because people are trying to take over, and they want to be the Blitz champion of the world. And Magnus Carlsen is also trying for that. He wants to defend his title of World Blitz champion.
For me, Daniil Dubov seems like will be champion for me. He's really performing well.
Yes. Yeah. According to performance, these players on top 3 boards are performing really well. But according to sympathy, we are sympathizing with Jawahar Sindarov and Nurbek Abdusattorov here on the 11th and 12th board. They still theoretically have got the chance to, be the champion, or maybe in the top 3 or 5. So until the start of the tournament, maybe let's play some bullet games here. 2 minutes main time and 1+ increment for each move. So let's go to e4, e5, f3. So let's go for the Spanish party. Let's just castle here. If the pawn is captured, we'll go to rook e1. So we'll just take the knight here.
Samarkand,
I'll just give check to. maybe double up in the diagonal or just come back with the rook.
You can just move, push d4 with your pawn.
Okay, let's go for that. But I think you. Maybe double up here, right? Maybe here.
You can also bring your knight from b1 to c3, from b1 to c3.
First of all, okay.
Let's wait for black to attack your knight here.
He's coming to here and attacking the. Okay, let's just come back to
e1, e1.
e1.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also try something like a queen d3 here.
Okay. Let's attack the knight on c4. Now it will probably go back to b6.
Knight e4, bringing
And
bringing that knight to e4.
I will bring that knight as well, but he's offering a trade here. But I think I'm not going to agree, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Two knights here in the center of the board seems beautiful. Now they are protecting many squares at the same time. Now I will take my bishop out to maybe d2 or maybe f4.
f4 is under attack of knight here.
So let's take this. You suggest to take it?
You may also push c4.
Okay. Maybe then bring this.
Yeah, I think.
Which one to take? If I take this, then it will come to here, and it's not going to be good, I think, because it's damage pawn structure, and we'll just help the opponent to correct their pawn structure. Maybe push this pawn.
Yeah, that's also a good option.
If it's captured, we'll just capture. Okay, we'll take this with one, right?
The pawn on c4 is going to be captured. Let's take with that one, with that pawn.
With one?
No, the pawn on d4.
Okay. At the same time protecting the pawn on c4, right?
Yeah, and planning f5. No, not now. Bishop e3.
First of all.
Queen f3. f3 maybe.
Let's just go back to f3. Maybe
No.
not push pawn because it's attacked. Maybe this one.
Yeah.
You maybe just push the pawn here.
Yeah, that's also possible. Just h3, g4. So you should now play fast. Yeah.
Oh, we got so little time on the clock. We're just trying to explain everything, but it's not going to be good. Now this bishop is trapped.
It may go to d3 actually.
But we'll just attack that. First of all, let's push this pawn, I think. Push this pawn. If I push this pawn, then I'll just go to d4. Just push the pawn to f5. Let's just see. Okay, let's just go to here. Now you can.
You could trap the queen, okay. You could have.
Just so little time on the clock. Okay. Let's see.
Rook f1 here.
Just trade the rooks here to simplify the game.
Maybe he would go to rook f3 here.
No, f3 is defended by bishop.
Yeah, maybe he'll go.
Okay. Are we going to trade the queens? No. Now we're going to push the pawn and capture.
Oh.
Oh, we just hang our rook here, but it's still not lost. I was going to say, but it is lost. Nearly. Yes, it's going to be checkmate in the next few moves. And which move is going to be checkmate? Maybe push the pawn and check with the bishop.
Yeah, and checkmate in h7.
Yeah. We still got one. Yeah, we got two. Okay. Let's see. Yes, the round 15th game have already started. let's just go for them to the first match. So we got the Brazilian defense.
So still there are two leaders, Vladislav Artemiev and Maxim Vachilagraf.
As they drew their game in the last round, they didn't lose any points. In the race, they still are leading the tournament.
And there are 6 players with 10 points.
And those players are
Yanni Pomniachtchi, Nihal Sarin, Danil Dubov, Svidler Petter, Arjun Erigaisi and Magnus Carlsen.
and Daniel Lubov and Yanni Pomic could have half point more if they didn't draw their last yesterday's game. Maybe just played a little more like not arranged style.
Yeah.
They just moved their knights to different squares and just brought them to their home squares and just made a draw.
Let's see the second game. Petter Svidler, another great player,
All right.
played e4. So they went for Rui Lopez here. Knight b4. So knight d5 seems better option here.
Yes.
So just captured the pawn on b5, and now this pawn here can be attacked by bishop and knight here.
And it can be defended. Yes, with that move right there. Now we are going to see bishop straight.
Maxim Vachilagraf and
Daniel Lubov.
Daniil Dubov. They also went for Rui Lopez here. So as you can see, they went for exchanges. Usually like d5, not d5, like bishop b7 is played. But Danil Dubov went for trades.
Yeah.
As you can see, he always lacks some aggressive style.
And it seems like they traded a lot of pieces.
So looks like Danil Dubov will try to sacrifice his pawns here and try attacking. So yeah, he just sacrificed his knight here for. So now this rook here is
Pinned to the
pinned.
king, and if king moves to h1, then that's just lost. Maybe king go to f1. No. These bishops are also staring each other. If this bishop takes this, then it will be double attack right here.
Yeah.
If it can be captured right away.
Nihal Sarin is playing
What's
against
going
Yanni
to be the next move here?
Pomniachtchi. Knight f3, knight f3, knight f6, b3, d5. So as you can see, the game went also quite well here. Quite equal for both sides. So they traded their queens here, their bishops and knights, their rooks here, as you can see.
Now they've got both one bishop and one knight in an endgame where they've got 6 pawns each, but white's got the double pawns on the f file, but it's protected with pawn on e3. So with the good game or with the best play, this game should end in draw, and they both got enough time on their clocks, 40 seconds. So it must be enough for them to make this game a draw, not like blunder something big. So they are playing for a win, each of them, right?
Yes.
They are not wanting to make this an early draw.
They both got 10 points,
They
and
want to lead the tournament by winning the game. Okay, maybe you can go to the 5th board where Fabiano Caruana is playing against Yu Yangyi from China. Let's go here.
so they agreed to draw here.
Before we're going to see the result, maybe predict the result. They just agreed to draw.
So there is also another draw recorded on the third table. So after this move, here as you can see, Danil Dubov was kind of dominating, and
Maxim Vachilagraf made a mistake.
yeah, he could move with his rook to e2, Danil Dubov, and just win the game. But he gave a check
But
here.
anyways, that still that was also winning, I think.
Yeah, but after this move,
Yeah, he made another mistake.
queen g1.
Mm,
So that's now equal position. They agree to draw here.
they got both same amount of pawns, but White's got double pawns on b file.
And now there is a sole leader, Vladislav Artemiev, defeated Sudler Petr and has now got 11.5 points. As you can see, another leader, Maxima Shelegraf, played the draw.
And now Vladislav Artemiev is just leading the tournament solely. He also played really well in the Rapid Championship. He took second place, right?
No, it was Fedosev.
With the save. With Artemiev. But he wasn't playing as good as Fedosev.
Let's see how the game went. We have seen still here. So yeah, knight d3 was strong move here. Now, just Vladislav Artemiev is dominating. So yeah, that's losing for Petr Sudler. At least he could play until the end, but I don't think Vladislav Artemiev would have made a mistake here.
Yeah, Peter Svidler just was sure that this situation is losing for White. He just decided to resign the game. We can go to 11th and 12th board where two Uzbek grandmasters playing. Maybe to
Let's see who already won
Yeah.
his game against Narayanan.
Let's see which opening did they play. Okay, we got Sicilian defense here. Okay. So here, Narayan just want to try to
So looks like Magnus Carlsen is also winning his game. Okay, but we'll look at that a bit later.
wait a second. He made a mistake here. Like he took the knight here. Look.
Yeah.
Even if the situation was still favoring White, but after this move, it was like a huge winning advantage for White. So now White's up an exchange. Now Bishop went to h6 to prevent the black king from castling here, in order to, make it stay in the center of the board.
Bishop.
Check first, and
then moving with bishop.
Bishop went back here after he successfully prevented the black king from castling. Now this pawn was being attacked, and rook comes to e2 to protect it.
Queen d4.
This
Bishop
one
h3.
is not the most accurate one, but still it's winning for White.
h3. Knight f6. Rook c1. Offering a trade of queens.
While taking one more pawn here.
c5. So yeah,
now White just won another clean pawn, and he's now up 2 pawns and exchange.
that's surely winning for Abdusattar Nanderbek.
Now, but Black doesn't want to, trade queens here, because he wants to attack and maybe try to give perpetual checks here. Now, in this situation, Narayan just decided to resign the game after he understood that there's no way to defend this game and make it a draw against such strong grandmaster.
There is also move like e5 and then give check with e6.
And that was just loss for Black, and he just didn't want to humiliate himself. Just went on while knowing he will still lose the game.
Sindarov Jawahar played the draw with another great grandmaster, Alexei Sarana.
Okay.
So they went for Sicilian defense.
We are seeing this opening nearly as much as Rui Lopez.
So that's favoring White here, as you can see.
Because White's got the space advantage here after that move to b5.
that's now turned to equal.
Here, here Jawahar sacrificed his rook for one pawn.
To for one knight here to defend the pawn on f2 in the following move.
He wants to open up this A file and to infiltrate with rook here and maybe create a pass pawn on b5.
Rook d8,
Okay.
d6, and now that's a bit good for white here. After
Here
knight
he made
g3,
a blunder. Oh.
he could have bring it with his.
Jawahar was winning in the situation, but after knight goes to g3, that game seems to be equalized, and black just took his chances and just tried to draw the game. Another pawn. After this move, they both agreed to a draw, but yeah, the evaluation bar is also saying the game would end in a draw in the situation. Okay, let's go to Carlsen's game, where he won his game against Arjun Ergaisi, a strong grandmaster from India.
So it was quite well until here.
Okay.
After f6, that gave a bit of advantage for white here, as you can see.
But before here, the evaluation bar is now favoring white, and it's slowly but surely it's increasing. It's still the same. Here, Arjun Ergaisi just decided to.
No, like he played bishop c5 here, rook a6 here, and that's
This Magnus
like
just gave up his queen.
yeah, and now he's a
For
pawn
the-
ahead, considering these pieces, these pawns
Yeah, in such
on
endgame,
b4
Magnus
or
will
d4 and b5, that's which are weak.
Okay.
That's really winning for Magnus Carlsen in this position. g5 was if Arjun Ergaisi responded to this move with g6.
He would have maybe or make a draw in this game, but unfortunately he couldn't find that move, and so that just lost the game. Magnus made another mistake.
Yeah, rook c3. So that was another mistake.
When there is, but Magnus had plenty of his time on his clock, but he made mistakes. But we can understand why Arjun made mistakes. He had like 7 or 10 seconds on his clock. He had to make moves fast, and as he made moves fast, he made mistakes.
Here another mistake by Arjun Ergaisi, pushing pawn to b2 was a mistake, as there was a checkmate here.
Checkmate after. Oh, but Magnus should have gone for g3 first, right?
G6, and then just if rook goes to c8, g7, and then give a check and turn that to queen.
Yeah, the game would have maybe ended in checkmate. After still champion will find a way to equalize the position even if white's up 3 pawns.
Rook b5,
but
king e4.
Still, after this move to rook to e1, and it seems to be unstoppable. Still, Magnus made another mistake. Another mistake. They made so many blunders in this game. And now Magnus knows that this is a winning king and pawn endgame. So he goes to queen f6 first and just promote to queen in the next few moves and just win the game.
Jan Nepomniachtchi also won his game against Nihal Sarin, and
both grandmasters from India in the top 6 or 8 list, both of them just lost their match in this round.
so we have seen some some parts of this game.
Okay.
Yeah, so they went for a trade of their rooks here.
All right.
King f1, king d7. So moving bishop to c3 was a mistake here. And now this is really passive on
It's
d2.
like trapped on the second rank. It's one side of queen side is blocked with black pawns, and king side is blocked with his own pawns. And this bishop is like dead here, but this knight here is really active, And here white's got double pawns on f file, so but there is still little chance for Mihalsarin to make this a draw at the time. But after this king move and
f3, f5. So Yanni Pomniachtchi just slowly went for win.
here he made a mistake. Oh, that was game changing. I was going to say, but still there's like minus 1.5 here. After exchange of knights here, knight to bishop. Jan just going to break through in the king side. Just push the pawn to g4. Yeah, he did.
That's surely winning for Yanni
Yeah.
Pomniachtchi.
This pawn is a passer here, because the king will just come here and stop the pawn on e5, and knight will come to e4, just protect the pawn and help it to become a queen.
Yeah, he may also. Yeah, so let's see what he did here. g3. This is captured soon. So king now cannot help bishop here,
Okay.
as it needs to protect the pawn on b3. So Yanni Pomniachtchi slowly came with his knight to f3, and that's winning. And Halsarin just understood that there is no hope of this game and just resigned.
So maybe let's go to pairings. Maybe pairings have been announced for.
There is one game taking place, not in top 13. Hans Niemann is playing.
Still, that game hasn't finished, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to there.
No, it's not in top 30.
So maybe let's just go to Jahangir Wahidov's game. Until then, he's playing the 29th board, and he just lost to Ruslan Panomarev. Let's see which openings they play. So we got the Sicilian defense again, one more time. So we can see a4 taking space. Okay, while just pushing his pawns in the king side to protect and to attack the black king on the king side, and maybe open up and just king to here, knight to here, rook to h1, and sliding the king back and use this open file if after this breakthrough. So maybe they got English opening. It seems like London system where there are no c pawns, but it is the same as London system, but the pawns on c2 and c7 are not there. Just castles, rook to center.
That's
Change.
equal. That was equal here.
Let's see where Jahangir Wahidov made his game-changing mistake. Here, this was already some kind of inaccuracy here, and black just found the right way to go. Knight drops back to g3, pawn to g6. Okay. Rook trying to infiltrate to the second rank of white position. Check. Exchange of rooks. Now, black is just up a pawn here. and he's going to capitalize. In such situations, the knights are not so, effective. Bishop is it's a long range piece. It can go to like this. It controls this squares, this and this squares, and but at the same but knight on the other hand is not so, um, can't see other, far distances from this part, and if there were no pawns on king side, then the knight in e4 could be much better than the bishop. Even if it is, but it's still favoring black. Check.
Yeah, so after trade, that's surely winning for Ukrainian grandmaster,
Alright.
skilled grandmaster, Ruslan Ponomarev. So I think all games have finished.
And pairings for the 16 rounds are soon going to be announced.
Let's play a game, maybe.
Let's play another match here until, the start of the games, just to spice things up a little bit. So we are playing with black, sitting on defense. Classical variation. Now. Castles.
So knight c6, preventing from d4, just
And prevent the knight from coming to b5,
d5.
a4.
No.
Okay. Now we got two pawns in the center, and we got this center under control. And now protecting it, a little bit more seriously.
Six.
Maybe bring the knight to h7, or maybe just trade
This pawn.
with another attack.
Yeah, I'm afraid there
After
is.
it takes, then takes, this pawn would drop, you mean, right? Maybe just push it, otherwise.
g5.
Yep. Okay. Whoa, that's a bold move right here. Opening up the. Whoa, he wanted to make like a brilliant move here, but I don't know if it works here. But yeah, I think it doesn't work here. Just come to h7.
There's again this pawn hanging here.
It's still hanging.
So just no, that's impossible. Just
Looks like that sacrifice was worth it. Worth the risk. And we'll see if he finds the right moves.
pushing to b5.
Okay. Maybe then push the pawn to c4.
Just
Oh,
b4.
b5. Just kick out the knight.
Yeah, and then we can move with our knight here.
Yeah. Then we'll exchange the bishop, dark squared bishops. Just make the king bring to safety.
So now again, that's not good here.
Let's just take it.
So he took it with
Queen.
his queen.
Maybe. No, just go to h7.
Rook a7.
Now, it's under attack by two pieces. Anyways, it's still protected with the two pieces. Okay.
Let's see. Knight
Yeah, let's just
h7.
trade the dark squared bishops here. Let's see if white will take it. He did not. Whoa. Is it going to be checkmate in the next? We can just go to f6, right?
Yeah. And now
Maybe f6 right now? Yes, here.
bishop f6. King to that side.
Just bring the rook to g8 and just start our own attack here. Yes. Now rook will slide over. Then we'll try to attack with, our bishops. Yeah, now suddenly black is just going to lose the game in the next few moves.
Okay, let me
Whee!
capture
But
that.
For maybe we should have captured. Yeah, there was another rook as well. Whoa, there were three, you know, two rooks and one queen in the same pen. Now we are up one full major piece for 3 pawns, and that seems to be winning. You know, the more pieces are on the board, the more difficult for white to, you know,
Yes. So
make
now
this
let's
a
try
draw.
to give a check. Oh no, it's not good. Rook d8 here.
Just try to be
And
faster.
bishop g4. Just having a pre-move here.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to lose on time.
So let's see. Let's play faster here.
Give check.
Bishop g7. Rook f8 here. Capturing the rook there. Just let's add some time for ourselves.
Yeah, let's just take the bishop. He moved his bishop. He's not going to take it. Yes, he did not take
Yeah, in that case, let's get back and just capture
it.
pawn. Okay.
We just sacrificed our bishop for 2 pawns, you know. But still, we got a winning position right here. Check.
Here.
Check's blocked. Sacrifice the rook for 1 bishop, and now we got a pass pawn on. Just
c6.
blocked away. This move was. Yeah, there. That's it.
Oh.
Whoa! We just
That's
flagged
enough.
here. We were winning the game. We just moved to d8. Even the pawn pushed to e6, we just captured and push the pawn to a4, h3, a2, and a1, and make a queen at the end.
Pairings
So let's
have
see
been
if
announced.
the pairings have been announced for the 16th round. Yeah, they have been. In the first board, Magnus Carlsen is playing against Alexander Ilchik. Well, in the second board seems to be, I think, the main focus here. Oh, in the third
Vladislav
board as
Artemiev is
well.
playing against Limon Aronyan. Jan Pomniac against Maxim Vachilagraf.
And in the fourth board, your favorite, Daniel Dubov, is playing against my favorite.
So young
Satar.
chess players
Uh-huh.
here, though Daniel Dubov is like 27 years old.
Yes.
Another backup Satorf is 19 years
19
old.
You know, my peer. I was going to say our.
Arseny Nesterov playing against Fabiano Caruana. Satvani Raunak, Dudayan Christoph. So, as you can see, new names here appeared.
All of them, even if they are new, they are just strong. They were just, you know, in the bottom, fighting for, you know, to increase their points, maybe going to top 5 boards. Here on the 8th board, we are again seeing Indian battle here. Arjun Erigaisi is playing against Pragyananda Ramesh Babu from India.
Bishop e3. So they follow just Rui Lopez here,
Okay.
as you can see.
So here they're sinking.
Let's see this. This is also going to be really hot here.
Yes. Really heated.
d4, knight f6, bishop f4.
Which one do you want? You know, which one do you choose to win?
Yeah, I would like not backup Satorf to win this game. And just
Maybe go into top 3, right? Maybe
Yeah.
play with Magnus in the Blitz as well. Maybe Nepomniachtchi, Maxim Vachilagraf. As rounds are going, you know, into 15th, 16th, 18th, and especially the last rounds are going to be really heated, because in the last rounds we are going to determine who will be the world Blitz champion.
bishop e3, planning to bring the bishop to c4 maybe,
Right?
and then queen here to c2, castle to either side, either this or this. If it's going to castle this side, the game will turn to a bit boring.
Mm. So now queen is going to maybe b3 or maybe c2. Just castle queen side and push the pawns on the king side to towards the black king and open up and bring the rooks to g1 and h1 and white's got the pair of bishops here as well. Hmm.
Let's see what's happening in this game.
Alright.
c5 here followed.
Okay.
So after exchange, queen will be able to come to b6 or c7, rook
Right.
e8, and just develop his pieces here. Whereas white has already developed his pieces here. The only thing that he needs to do is to do the same with his queen, and just
Decide which side to
castle.
castle. Whether he wants to be aggressive with world number one or just wants to play it safe, keep it solid, and maybe go for a draw.
So they exchanged.
He chose the safe way, castle king side. In the second game, Vladislav Artemiev is playing against one of the best in the world, Levon Aronian, an Armenian grandmaster who is playing from USA.
And they have traded their bishops and knights here. Bishop g5, and as you can see,
They're just trading their pieces.
that's still equal, with a little advantage for
Vladislav
white.
Artemiev here, but he's now the sole leader of the tournament with 10.5 points or 11 points.
With 11 points.
11 points out of 15.
With 11 and a half points, let's say.
Oh, 11 and a half points out of 15, and he's now the sole leader of the tournament. Okay. So.
Jan Nepomniachtchi playing against Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. Interesting game happened here.
So still in
still
defense,
in
one more
defense.
time.
h4.
Now white castle, queen side to spice things up to make the game more interesting. To to escape from a draw, I can say.
So Jan Nepomniachtchi will now try to attack these pawns here.
Even if the situation is saying, the evaluation bar is saying both sides are equal right now, but I don't know if the pawns on h file are
Yeah, so
defendable.
it's a bit advantageous for white,
Now, yeah, suddenly white is being favored, but
as this king is opened here, and if that's brought to f5 and this pawn here is defended by maybe moving to c3,
maybe knight to
Knight to
h4 first, and to
e1, defending
he's
that,
relying on knight,
defending the pawn, and now start bringing the queen here.
Okay.
Do Satar of another back, and then you'll do both here.
But it's not going so well
g3.
because there's little advantage for white in the situation, as he's got space advantage. He pushed all of his pawns in the queen side.
So two Azerbaijani grandmasters just agreed to draw here.
Yeah, we have seen this many times. The people with this from the same country are agreeing to draw. Many times we have seen Daniel Dubov and Jan Nepomniachtchi. We have seen such things in the women's section from China. They just made draw, and here again, two Azerbaijani grandmasters, Shakhriar Mamedyarov and Timur Rajabov, made their game draw after a lot of moves, actually, after 30 moves. After trading everything, when they had 4 pawns each, it's like rook and pawn end game, but still they could have played for something, because when the time trouble comes, they will make a mistake. We have seen such things even in the rapid. They made mistakes in such rook and pawn end games.
Vladislav Artemiev, he won Levon Aronian.
He's just strengthening his
Yeah,
leadership
that's
here.
like b6 was really stupid mistake,
Whoa,
and
he just
now
lost his.
this knight is gone.
Whoa, how could Levon Aronian make such a mistake? Let's see. He just straight away giving away his knight for free.
And just resigned the game.
He had 30 seconds on the clock. Why would he do that?
So Vladislav Artemiev him
That's not something common we see every day.
was lucky.
Yeah, he was lucky, and he's leading the tournament, and he's lucky in the game, and just strengthening his whole leadership here. And with 12.5 points out of 16 rounds, that's really a really good, result. I think he hasn't lost in the Blitz Championship, right?
Yes,
He hasn't lost.
he had made like
So many draws, so many draws.
seven draws.
7 draws and 1 other games as well. It's balanced, but the one that's interesting is
So Magnus Carlsen defeated his opponent here.
because
That's again made the pieces and pawns of Indrich Alexander weak.
and they're just so passive, sitting in the first and second rank and looking at nothing.
Knight e4, and that's losing for Serbian Grandmaster here. After Queen d2, there is a checkmate in one move. So Magnus Carlsen made his points to 12, and still pursuing Vladislav Artemiev.
Heartbreak on the first board where Norderbeek Satorov lost his match against Daniel Dubov here, where he made a blunder, I think. Otherwise, he wouldn't have resigned the game. The rook.
Yeah, they've exchanged their pieces here.
His
Taking
pawn push was incorrect. Oh, that queen.
And now he's
losing his knight.
on d5. If it goes there, there is check from here, and the knight here is lost. And here pawn is also weak, and
we were expecting Uzbek players to go up to the top 4 or 5 boards and maybe potentially win the tournament, maybe to enter top 3, but Norderbeek just came here onto the 4th board and played against Daniel Dubov and just lost his match, and that's just heartbreaking. And now the chance of becoming champion is like really, really low. Maybe he can try it for top 3 or top 5 if he wins most of his games in the last rounds.
as you can see, when skilled grandmasters make mistakes in Blitz, just stupid mistakes.
Yes.
It's really common for Blitz.
Sometimes the Blitz is about speed rather than accuracy.
So Yanni Pomniashi and Maxim Varshela Graf just share their points here. It was a bit winning for white, but then after queen moved to e2, they agreed to draw, and that's okay. So let's now take a little break. Well, the interesting things are still ahead. It's coming.
16th round came to an end nearly. There are only some games that hasn't finished, but the top 10 boards. Oh, this one hasn't finished. It's a drawn end game, but if one side doesn't make huge mistake, this game will end in a draw.
So let's have a little break then, and we'll be back soon.
We'll be back in 6 or maybe 7 minutes, but just don't go anywhere, right? We're going to take a break. So we are back from break. So let's get going. The
Let's get back. Magnus Carlsen is playing against Yu Yang Yi on the first board, and on the second, Duda Jan Christoph is playing against Vladislav Artemiev. Duda Jan Christoph, it's been a lot since he haven't played in second board, and on the third board, Dubov Daniil with black pieces is playing against Fabiano Caruana.
So the games in the top 5 games are going to be really heated. So in the first board, Maxim Vasilyev is going to play against Arjun Erigaisi. In the fifth board, Shakhriyar Mamidyarov. So long time, no see that he has been playing in the top 5 boards. He's gonna play against Yanni Pomnishi.
It's interesting that you can see on the 5th and on the 7th, Mamidyar Shahryar and Rajabov Timur, they play draw on the 9th table, and they got half points.
And they went up to the 5th and 7th boards, respectfully.
Usually that draw just declines them from the standings.
Yes. As you can see, the round hasn't started yet, so we can go to UzChess.org and maybe play, a bullet match here until the start of the games.
So the first place belongs to Vladislav Artemiev so far.
Yes.
Second, Magnus Carlsen, and there are 3 players with 11.5 points: Maxim Vasilyev, Daniil Dubov, and Yanni Pomniashi.
So let's start the game. Push the pawn. Here.
Yeah.
Let's go. If pawn takes, pawn takes. Okay. Take the pawn. Attack the knight here. So just develop our pieces to more active squares. Come maybe here and here, and just castle. No, we'll just castle here. So just kick out the bishop. Move the king to h1. Okay. Maybe to knight to g4. Yeah, let's go. Take this bishop. It's really annoying. Okay, it just went back. Let's go with our pawn. So maybe let's just push the pawn forward. Just open this black king. Oh, we made a blunder. Take the pawn. Let's just come right here. Now we got a fork here. Maybe just as resigned. Let's just new opponent. The 17th round hasn't started, so let's play one more match to spice things up.
So yesterday,
Take the pawn.
as we told, Yanni Pomniashi played the draw with Daniil Dubov, and they got fined a half point. And on Twitter, Yanni Pomniashi just put the song of Prokofiev, "Dance of the Knights," and Daniil Dubov wrote in his Twitter that their draw was kind of a protest against arbiters and organizers of the
event.
He just described everything. He said that he also played draw with Vladislav Artemiev, and he said that he was late for 1.5 minutes, and he said that he didn't want to play with such advantage, and he didn't want to play with like bullets either. So they just agreed to draw very fast.
Mm-hmm. So this is the reason why they made the draw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did they make draw in such way?
Hmm. Because one side didn't have so much time on the clock, right? He
Mm.
came late, and one side just didn't want to, win the game when the other player had, less time on his clock. Now we are just.
So there is a video of Magnus Carlsen walking um, along the river in the Samarkand
Oh,
after losing to Vashel
yeah.
Lagraf.
He's having a mental break, maybe, walking around the river, just telling himself where he made a mistake, which parts should he improve, or maybe just walking, just thinking about the next round, what opening he's going to play. Okay, the games of the 17th round have already started. Here, the Carlsen, where he was, going to the river, he came to the board and just played e45. So we got the Petrov defense here. Okay, after d3, I'd go back to d6, c4. After c4, Yu Yang is going to is thinking about what his plans are going to be. There are so many variations here. He's thinking about which variations to go, which one is the more solid against world's number one. So let's go to second board here. So let's see which opening they play. So we got the Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit declined here. Okay, after check, bishop blocks, bishop takes, knight takes. Now, we'll just castle this king side, put the knight to maybe f6, put the bishop to maybe e7, or maybe push the pawn to here, then put the bishop here. Okay.
So on the third board, Fabiano Caruana is playing with white against Daniil Dubov. e4, e5, Italian game here. Exchange their bishops here, and as you can see, this pawn is under attack, and Daniil Dubov is just has to defend that.
All right.
Because if he loses, then it's going to be a great loss, though it's just a pawn.
Okay.
So now Fabiano Caruana is planning to capture the pawn on e5 and open up the game here. Maxim Vachilagraf is playing against Arjun Erigaisi, and they went for Sicilian defense.
Mm-hmm.
Knight c3, bishop b4, e5, knight d5.
So
queen g5.
the fans are asking about Uzbek players' results. Now here we'll just look at them just for a moment. Here in the 11th board, Nodirbek Absatarov is playing against here Aravind Chitambaran, and on the 13th board, Jawahar Sindarov is playing against another Indian Grandmaster, Sandvani Raunak, and other Uzbek players. We are just trying to find them, and I don't think there is not any other player in the top 30 boards. So
there are several players with 8 points.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Let's
There
just tell them.
There is Wahidov Shamsuddin
Okay.
playing at the 34th table against Bharat Subramaniam. There is also Yakubayev Nodirbek with 8.5 points. Wahidov Jahangir with 8.5 points.
All right.
Omanov Asrar Jan with the same amount of points. Bekmuradov Humayun, Rahmatullayev Almas, Madaminov Muhiddin, Suyarov Muhammad Zahid, Abdurrahmanov Muhammad Ali with the same amount of with 8 points. Nigmatov Ortik with 7.5 points.
Okay.
Abdusalimov Abdul Malik with 7. Faizullayev Akmal with 7. Yeah, and so far.
So in the third board, we're seeing Magnus Fabiano Caruana is playing against Daniil Dubov. So comes here. Knight just rerouted to b5, rook comes to here, pawn push. Now pawn takes and pawn takes. You know, both sides just exchange one pawn. Just bishop drops back, doubling up the rooks on the f file.
So I think Daniel Dubov will go for this sacrifice, knowing the style he plays. Maybe he'll go for that, or even he can play bishop c5
First of all,
first. Yeah.
after that, maybe he can sacrifice his, the rook, as in Gotham chess style, to knight on f3.
Timur Jabov and Rapport Richard played draw with each other. They went for Caro-Kann defense.
Okay.
And still in the opening. So looks like they just traded everything. As you can see. So here they agreed to draw.
So it is the first result in the top 10 boards. Other games are still continuing.
We could have played until the end. There are still queens, rooks.
There are a lot of pieces on the board.
They only traded knights and one pawn. That's all.
We are seeing such kind of draws so many times in this in the top 10 boards, especially.
Vladislav Artemiev is having advantage here. Will he be able to win this game too?
If he wins this game, he will improve his sole leadership, and going up to 13 or 14 points is going to be real difficult for other players.
Yeah, now he's half point. He's a pawn ahead now here against Duda Christoph. He wants to double the rooks, and with potential checkmate here.
So
Yan Nepomniachtchi played a draw with Mamedjarov Shahryar. Another Azerbaijani player played a fast draw here. G3.
The second draw in the top 10 board, we have Shahryar Mamedjarov, another Armenian grandmaster, Azerbaijani grandmaster. So in the top 10 boards, there are two grandmasters from Azerbaijan, and they both agreed to draw in their games in the 5th and 7th boards, and we'll see if they will go up to next boards or they will just come to bottom.
Here it's equal position.
Okay.
This pawn, of course, Mamedjarov Shahryar will not just defend this pawn here. He will instead, I think, capture the pawn on a6. He would have captured, and this one would capture the pawn on b2, and that's just complete draw here.
So
Fabiano Caruana and Daniil Dubov are having a great time here.
They went to endgame already.
Yeah, so after some time he only took the...
Yeah, he sacrificed his rook for a knight here, as we guessed.
As you can see, he is sacrificing another rook here, just by taking the pawn on e5.
I think sacrificing was not so good idea.
No, yeah, moving queen here.
Just losing the pawn on c7.
And as you can see, now for two rooks, Daniil Dubov has only knight here, and that's really disadvantageous for him. But taking the knight on h4 wasn't a good idea. He could have just moved with his rook. That's a really hard move to find.
Yeah, just sacrificing it.
Just after here.
But still, it's favoring white.
Maybe like
White's
this.
just checking while taking the knight on e4.
And then kind of moving,
exchanging the
queens, and that's
just winning endgame for white here. And so we go to the first game, where Magnus Carlsen has just defeated in China's number 2 Yu Yangyi in a style.
Here taking the pawn with knight was not a good idea.
Yeah.
After that, it followed bishop f3. Now these two bishops were strong, and there's a pass pawn here.
And it is protected by the bishop on f3.
So c4, great move here.
That was the biggest blunder of the game. Pawn takes, d takes c was the biggest blunder. Now bishop goes to b1,
b7.
b7, and there is no way to defend pawn from becoming queen.
So if he had moved to rook c8, there would follow rook d1, and then
Yeah, if pawn takes, then checkmate. If black tries to open up the king by moving to h6, just give check and just become a queen.
So here the pawn became queen here, and that's winning for Magnus Carlsen. As you can see, it's not so hard to win.
Yes.
And here Yu Yangyi resigned the game, and Vladislav Artemiev played a draw with Dudayan Christoph, and now Magnus Carlsen reached Vladislav Artemiev, and now they are sharing the podium.
Yeah.
Each other.
What about Daniel Dubov? I think he also reached there.
No, Daniel Dubov is
Half point behind.
Yeah.
But
So-
he's really near them. Maybe in this round he will face Magnus or Vladislav Artemiev.
You mean Daniel Dubov?
Yes.
Didn't he play with Magnus?
Did he? If he did, then he's not going to play with him again.
He played with Vladislav Artemiev already.
If he has already played with top 2 players, then he'll have to play other players.
So here it was favoring a bit black here, but after this rook d1 it got stable, and now it's again favoring black.
Okay.
Now Vladislav Artemiev is trying to win, and h5, just relieving this double pawn.
Just
Right,
black helped white, to equalize the game here.
Okay, so here he has a pass pawn, Vladislav Artemiev, but it's really hard to
Yeah.
realize that, especially king is really close. There
Yeah,
is also knight.
Black king is like on the edge of the board, unable to help the pawn on. Yeah, it came really near for that. It's just a drawn endgame. They just repeated moves, some and just agreed to a draw.
Yeah.
So
Daniil Dubov.
how did he win Fabiano Caruana? Let's see this.
Yeah, bishop h6 was a mistake, but still he had advantage here, as we saw.
Yeah,
And
but after that, the game seemed to be equal. But whoa,
bishop
black had only one queen and one bishop.
against bishop and two rooks.
But white just lost so many pawns.
Bishop c3, h5.
Still seems
And
to be.
here Fabiano Caruana resigned the game.
Wow, why would he do that? Or
I think he thought that after check from d1, the capturing of rook is inevitable. And
maybe
there is also this pawn on a4.
now it's time for black to move, right?
No, it's time for white.
If it's time for white, then I think there is here he can do this. If check, then he can come to here,
Yeah, and then this pawn would be captured.
and maybe putting both rooks in this diagonal, here, putting one of them here and putting one of them here, stopping this pawn and this pawn from pushing to a4. Just these two pawn and bishop would just stay here. They're rock solid. Maybe he would have tried for that, but instead he just resigned the game. So we can go to another big Absatarov's game where he couldn't win Indian Grandmaster Aravind Chidambaram. He made a draw with him.
So just to remind, Daniil Dubov has played with both Vladislav Artemiev and Magnus Carlsen, and made with both of them draw with playing with white.
So on the 13th board, another Uzbek player, Jawahar Sindarov, has already won his game against Saunak Randvani, But Nurulbek on the other hand, couldn't win his game and just made a draw. Now Sindar Jawahar is going to like 3 or 4 boards up, maybe to 9s or 10s board here in the next round. So let's see how he won this match. So they e4. We got the Sicilian defense, like always. This classical variation, pushing the pawn to f4, a4, taking away space from black.
So yes, Sindar Jawahar can jump because those who had 10.5 points just made draws.
Yeah, most of them made draws. Only here, like
Murzin Volodar.
Murzin Volador won his game, and here also Peter Svidar also won his game. And on the 6th board, Injik Alexander won his game against a very, very strong grandmaster from Armenia, and now is playing, from the name of USA, Levan Aronian. So let's see how Jawahar managed to outplay Raunak Sanwani. So they just repeat two times. If that move was made one more time, then the game would have ended in a draw. So after in exchanges, white's just solid, and black's just trying to repeat moves again 2 times.
Yeah.
If he is not got. He has already exchanged his knight, right? Because this bishop move is being made for the 3rd time here. But if black had a knight and put it to d7, then the game would have ended draw after perpetual moves.
There is a move of bishop a4 here, and that's really dangerous.
Okay.
There is only one room for black queen.
Black queen is nearly trapped here.
Yeah, so he took that pawn.
Okay.
If he that bishop, if he had played here, it would follow something like rook d4. I think. Yeah.
And here
rook
we can
d4.
see like Jawahar has got a great advantage.
So after queen takes bishop, f5, bishop g5, and
Jawahar has made a blunder here.
if he had moved with his pawn to e6, that would be great for him.
But this was another big blunder from. We can understand that he had 6 seconds on his clock, and he made another blunder. But black couldn't find the right way to go, and so the game equalized again. So now white will try to win. Why? Wow, white won this game. Look.
Yeah, so he's trying to use this pass pawns.
But even if black's got pass pawn on e3,
Looks like
Jawahar
Safwan Raunak
Jawahar Raunak Sanwani played for a win here.
Yeah,
He
so
didn't want to
after
agree to a draw.
Rook e4
Huh?
followed another mistake.
Mm,
He could have win rook here, I think. G6, b8. Yeah, so there is danger of giving checkmate from here
Yeah.
and capturing the.
yeah, checkmate. You can say like.
So after that,
Oh, he pushed his pawn.
queen g6.
Huh?
So after that, yeah, this.
They made
Rook
so
is
many
captured.
blunders, in the end game where they had less than 10 seconds on their clock, and Jawahar was the one who made less blunders. So he won the game. So let's see the pairings for the 18th round, if they have been announced. No, 18th round hasn't finished, I suppose. Or has it?
Yeah, 17th round has finished.
There is some time until the pairings are decided. Maybe till then we can play a game. Let's see. So 2+1 match.
So here just c4, blocking the way of bishop. Though it's not that good move here. Let's open up
Hmm.
the way. Queen e7. Take that with my knight. Bring a rook here. Bring the queen here.
Okay.
Capturing that pawn. And then pushing pawn to f5. Queen f6.
Hmm. Rook takes rook, probably. He wants to double up his rooks. Let's exchange all the rooks here. Oh, he didn't want to. So we are going to infiltrate to this d2. Just takes. If queen takes, queen takes. Yeah, he wants to. Maybe that's a good move. I think. That's. If he takes, we'll have
I
a.
don't want to trade my.
Okay.
That's more interesting with queens.
Queens, yes. There is checkmate, threat. The more pieces are exchanged, then the more probability of draw.
So now let's go with queen.
Maybe activate our bishop. It's just staring at nothing, doing.
There will be time for him to work, but
Now push the pawn to e6, e3. Oh, he wants to exchange. But if we exchange, then the game will probably in a draw. So let's not do that.
Is that a good move?
Just giving up one pawn for free. Maybe. Then you're going to play that.
Let's try to do something.
Was it? Whoa! He didn't take it. It's great. He didn't take it.
Capture that.
Now put the bishop to maybe d5.
No, just planning to give checkmate from like this.
And now I think it's game over. Oh, he wants to exchange. That's it. Nearly. Checkmate here. Yeah, checkmate. Let's see the pairings of the 18th round. They are
Broadcast. Then round 18.
They are here.
Magnus Carlsen is playing against Duda Jan Christoph.
Oh, a very interesting match on the first board here, and in the third board here as well. Murzin Valdar was like in the bottom 10 or 15 boards, and he came till the third one. That's good.
Vladislav Artemiev is playing with the Serbian Grandmaster Indjic Aleksandar.
So on the first board, Jan Nepomniachtchi is going to play against Arjun Ergaisi from India, and in the fifth board, Alexei Sarana is going to play against French Grandmaster Maxime Vachier-Lagraviev.
Fabiano Caruana is playing against Pragnananda.
Pragnananda has also made his way to the sixth board. He was like 15 or 20th board.
This was also true for Rapid, if you remember. He was playing at the bottom, and on the last rounds he just and then he started to play at high boards, and then on the last round he just played the draw with Magnus Carlsen.
So here on the eighth board, another interesting and important match for us. Jawahar Sindarov is playing against Richard Laporte with the black pieces. So we are going to we're going to see this one, and we're going to maybe analyze it from the beginning to end, and make it priority, because the only grandmaster from Uzbekistan who is in the top 10 boards is Jawahar Sindarov here. And here on the 9th and 10th board as well. Amin Tabatabai is gonna play against Shakhriyar Mehmediyarov, and on the 10th board, Parham Maksudlu is going to play against Nihal Sarin from India.
Lazavik Deniz also playing against Peter Swidler, and Abdusattarov Nazarbek on 14th board playing against Ryazantsev Alexander. Ryazantsev Alexander, grandmaster, who was one of the leaders after match day 1 in Blitz. He had also 9 points.
But as we can see, he's now in the 14th board, so that means he is not having a really good day today, and he lost maybe his match, some of them, and made some draws. Overall, he's not having really good time today.
There are also some other interesting games. Anish Giri playing against Dartov Daniel, who wasn't seen so much. Vladimir Fedoseev, who got second place in Rapid Chess Championship. He's playing on 28th board against Shugirov Sanan. Shugirov Sanan was also performing well in yesterday, but looks like he's not having a good day today. Gukesh Tamaraju playing with black against Suleymanli Aydin, and the games are soon going to start, and let's wait for them to do so. Yeah, for me the interesting game is this one, Duda, Jan Christoph and Magnus Carlsen.
It is one of the games that we are going to keep an eye on this round, and this one, and maybe like here on the 4th board, and 6th board, and 8th board. These 4 boards are going to be our priority in this round, and we are going to see everything from beginning to end of these games. If we get time before next round begins, we'll try to analyze other games as well. So they are not starting their games, so maybe let's play another match here. Here, let's go for 2+1 again. Okay. So let's play. We're playing with white. Let's see. Let's go to d4 for the first time. Okay, maybe. Let's go for it. Let's take the pawn. Take the pawn with a knight. Just block the way. Here. Takes. Oh, he didn't take it. So let's go here. Protect the pawn. Let's take this. So let's go. We'll now activate the bishop to this square and now castle. Kingside. Okay, let's just take this and castle. Okay. So let's just maybe push this pawn forward. So let's just do this. Let's see what he will respond with, where he will go with his queen. So let's just take this pawn. We may win a pawn even here, but let's just not hurry much. Just maybe trade rooks here. Maybe try to simplify the game. So let's just here attack the pawn on here. Now it will be defended with this or this or this moves. And oh, he did not do that. Maybe come. Let's come here to f2.
So in the round 18
Mhm.
last year, Magnus Carlsen had 13 points, as
Uh-huh.
well as Hikaru Nakamura. And there was also Vladislav Artemiev with 12 points, Alexei Sarana with 11.5 points. There was also Yanni Pomniachi, Duda Young Christoph, Danil Dubov, Anish Giri. Now, Anish Giri is playing at lower boards.
Just removed and lost my work. Oh, it has been started, so let's not go for. As we didn't make our first one.
So Duda and Christoph started with e4, and they went for Rui Lopez here, as you can see.
Yes.
h3, queen e7. Let's see the second board. They started with knight f3, d5, g3. Interesting game went on here. Danil Lubov against Murzin Volodar. Started with d4, d5, c4.
So we got the queen's gambit, is that or
knight e5, bishop b4. So let's just go through match quickly. So Sicilian defense here. Queen d4. Saran Alexei playing against Maxim Vasilograf here. And Saran Alexei is having a huge advantage here. Let's see.
There hasn't been much time till the start of the games, but Alexei Saran has already a big advantage.
Bishop g5. Yeah, so bishop d7 was a time when the evaluation bar rose. So after that, knight e4. And as you can see, this is very active compared to the knight which hasn't moved yet. And bishop f3, and these two pawns are
they're monsters. They are taking over the center.
c6, and now this is became even more dangerous. Rook moved from b8 to c8. Now this pawn is going to be captured now. This pawn is also under attack here, so it captured with queen, and looks like Saran Alexei will win this game.
Yes.
Fabiano Caruana against Praggnanandha. c4, knight f6.
So we got English opening.
And so they just traded their pieces.
Here, Fabiano Caruana is letting Praggnanandha sink for his next
Sundar
moves.
Jawahar playing against Richard Rapport.
Oh, he's not winning, I think. That's for sure,
E4.
he's not winning. Yeah. So we got the Italian.
c5, and offering a trade of queens here, but Richard Rapport is not taking that. And
Now he's
king h8.
up a pawn. Or-
Yes. King h8 was not a good move. For that it followed a3, queen c6, queen d3, knight
Okay.
f6, c4. And this knight here is really suppressing the pieces of black here, as you can see. And there is also another knight which is ready to jump here, maybe after like something, um, yeah, queen e3, and then bringing knight here, rook here, start attacking.
So let's go another Uzbek Grandmasters game, another big upset Tarf on the 14th board here. So let's see from the opening. So they played Queen's Gambit, declined and accepted here. Little bit problem with internet. A second. Here we were here. Exchange. Rooks have doubled on e file. Queen comes to e2. Okay. Now
So now
there may be check on h7, but it's not so dangerous for now. But Naderbek seems to be losing his game. Whoa.
He has one knight extra.
Naderbek lost one major piece in after opening process.
Yeah, for the exchange is dead for rook, but as you can see, the king here is quite unsafe.
And he has just lost one pawn. Free.
So what if g4?
Huh?
Yeah, g4 would have trapped the queen here.
Is it trapped right now?
Yes. So the only solution would be rook g6. But Ryazantsev Alexander just captured the pawn on c6.
And the game became equal. He didn't find the best move, so that Naderbek has got more chances.
Bishop f4.
But
that's a mistake.
Oh, Naderbek.
Yu Yangyi defeated Rajabov Timur, who had two fast draws. It went for Russian game, Petrov's defense.
So the only decisive match, maybe the only one that has finished the top 10 boards is this game, Yu Yangyi against Rajabov Timur.
Here Yu Yangyi has quite normal advantage. Rook c3 was a mistake here. Knight d5, rook c6, and that's losing for Rajabov Timur, as now Yu Yangyi will be a knight ahead.
And the pawns are the same, and he's just up one major piece,
now
and he will easily turn this game into a win.
Now Yu Yangyi adds also on another pawn here. That's
Whoa, yeah, Nepomniachtchi on the fourth and fifth boards, we have seen the results. As you guessed, Alexei Saranda has his won against Maxim Ashilagraviev.
So here Arjun Erigaisi defeated Yan Nepomniachtchi.
Okay.
That's something that was unexpected. Queen h4, quite well. So this one, bishop f1 was a mistake.
He wanted to sacrifice his bishop to to make a good attack. But
Bishop f1, so there is a rook here, and after bishop takes pawn on h2, it's winning for Erigaisi Arjun. So yeah, that's really poor for...
He's just up one major piece.
Yeah, that's really poor for Russian Grandmaster here.
Yeah. And in the short game as well, we have already seen a decisive match. Whoa.
Daniil Dubov. Also, there are like 6 decisive matches.
I haven't seen something like this before.
Yeah.
In the top 10 boards, we used to see a lot of draws here, but the games that have finished in the top 10 board, all of them have ended in decisive results. So, one side won the game. There hasn't been a single draw even.
The d5 was quite good move here. And the spin, f5. So that's advantages for white. As you can see, this queen here is really dangerous. Queen c5. Now the pawn. Now Daniil Dubov is pawn ahead here. Queen b5.
Slowly but surely, Daniil
And
Dubov
this is
is
a pass
going
pawn
to make
here.
that pawn a queen.
So he just exchanged that.
Now he's up 2 pawns. And
That's winning for white.
yeah. Now he will lose another pawn on h6.
Yeah, and that's a very easy process for Daniil Dubov. Let's see the game of Saran Alexei and Maxim Vashelograf.
And we were seeing it. We were in after the opening process. We came like.
Yeah, here.
There were these pawns here.
Queen e3,
So
rook
black
e3.
tried to infiltrate to the first and second rank.
Yeah, that's like Maxim Vashelograf is playing poorly. So rook f3. He wanted to do something out of it. Then
He lost his rook.
yeah, he resigned. Magnus Carlsen defeated Duda Jan Christoph.
And Magnus Carlsen is also going up, only up here. And if now he's got the same points as Vladislav Artemiev before this round.
Yeah, he had the same points, and as you can see here, it's Injic Alexander who is winning, and if Artemiev Vladislav going to lose this game, then Magnus Carlsen will become a sole leader.
I have never seen something like this. Now black is going to win this match in the second board. Let's go to nine's board here. Whether it's going to be, we were expecting that he was not having a good time.
Tabatabai is losing.
Oh.
Yes, Mamedar Shahriar.
So there is only one game that has finished in a draw in the top 10 board, and all games other than this second one, it hasn't finished yet, but it's going to finish, in black or white's favor. It's not going to be draw. 9 out of 10 games in the top 10 boards are going to be finished in a decisive result. So either white or black is going to win. So we haven't seen something like this, in the whole tournament. So let's see here. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov is winning his game against Amin Tabatabai. Now pawn cannot take it because it's like pinned to the king. Now this rook has to go somewhere else or just maybe sacrifice it.
Yeah, that's winning for black, and soon Vladislav Artemiev is going to resign the game. Let's see how Saran Alexei. Yeah, we have seen that. Fabiano Caruana defeated Pragananandha.
Okay.
C4. Oh, sorry. C4. Knight f6. Knight c3. Went with English opening. They've exchanged their pieces, as we told earlier. So whites were having a little advantage here. D4,
Just little advantage actually. We'll see whether it will be enough. It was enough to win the game or not. Fabiano Caruana went on,
So
and this was the blunder of the game.
So after rook e6, that's surely winning for Fabiano Caruana.
Pragananda had less than 9 seconds on the clock and just made a big blunder, and Fabiano Caruana used his chance and now won the match. Now he's going to maybe force board in the next game and maybe play against Arjun Ergaisi.
You mean this one?
Yes.
You have seen
You know,
that.
I mean, Fabiano Caruana is going to play this
Uh,
one in the next round, probably.
let's see what happened here. Yes, so it was losing for Sinar Jawahar. And after they traded their rooks, there is a pass pawn on a6, rook b1 check.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, knight c5 was a mistake after it kept. So if the knight on c5 was captured, there would be a pass pawn, and to prevent that, queen would have been sacrificed for that. But Richard Rapport played queen e5, and that again became equal. Bishop d5.
Another
Queen
mistake.
g3. Sorry.
So Jawahar was coming to the top little by little, but when he's coming to top 10 boards, he's just losing or maybe drawing, like Northern Sattar. He also have come here, once he was playing the fourth board or maybe fifth board, and he just lost his match and just went to maybe 14th or 15th board, and that's not what we were expecting and we were hoping.
So Vladislav Artemiev lost the game, as we were expecting, and now Vladislav, a Russian grandmaster, is 1 point behind Magnus Carlsen. There is Danil Dubov, who is pursuing Magnus Carlsen now.
Now Magnus Carlsen is the sole leader
Yes.
again. As you can see, Magnus becomes like third or fourth for some time and just goes to the straight to the first place again after some games. And he said in his interview, the longer the championship is, the more likely I will be the champion because I'm more consistent. He said these words.
So here another backup Satarov beat.
Yeah, something good result here as well. But he was Alexander Ryzantsvek.
Yes, so this position was favoring white here.
But look at that, he had 5 seconds on his clock.
Rook c1 was another mistake here. Queen e4, queen d5.
Another mistake.
Look, they have got few seconds on their clocks, and that's quite okay for them to make mistakes.
Now, Norderbeek just
so
won his
just
knight for free, and that's why he won the game.
king f1.
Uh-huh.
It's a mistake. There are no games. No, there are some games left
Uh-huh.
in some lower tables. Oh, there is Visit Santos.
Well,
and
this
Puskov
game hasn't
Artem.
finished, and now this is like a drawn pawn and rook end game.
I want to emphasize on Artem Uskov.
Uh,
He is like 13 years old,
uh-huh.
Russian player, and he had like 1.5 points after 4 or 5 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. And what's more, he defeated Vladimir Fedoseev, a man who got the second place in Rapid Chess Championship,
Okay.
and also won. And also won Andrei Yasipenko. And this game, I think, is going to turn to a draw.
Yeah, soon enough. They know how to draw such end games. They have studied it for many hours, maybe for many years. We haven't seen so many decisive games, and it's like surprise. Look, 10 out of 9 of them have finished one side's victory, and it's going to be interesting in the last rounds. Now we got 3 rounds to go, I think, right?
Yeah, there are 3 rounds left. 19, 20, 21.
So this Tigran Petrosyan won his game against Jordan Van Forest. This Van Forest was also great, strong grandmaster, but
It's Jabbar Bahadur who won.
no, this
Jab-
one I mean.
Yeah,
Jordan
Jabbar
Van Forest.
Bahadur.
Jordan Manford I was talking about.
Oh,
He's also a strong grandmaster, but he didn't really play really well in this tournament. So maybe let's go to 19th board pairings, if they have been announced or not. Let's see.
there are still some games left.
hmm So there is just here one game. Vadi Santosh Gujarati's game against.
Mm. So they agreed to draw.
So now officially all the games, let's see, have all finished. No, it hasn't finished. There are some games, in the 30 plus table boards. So after they are finished, then we are going to have like 5 minutes until the pairings for the next round going to be announced, and we'll see what happened.
There is Sarana Rapport, Fabiano Caruana, who may play against
Huh?
Magnus Carlsen. And so, in that case, let's play game.
So life is interesting. We got such games here. Let's play some games until the start of the next round, to spice things up. What kind of questions? So we got the Queen, King's Gambit accepted here. We get a great position out of the opening. So we are here again. We were playing match, and it is still going on. It hasn't finished. So let's see.
Bishop d3. Mm,
Check. Check. Now it's gonna be really difficult for black. Check.
and there's checkmate followed by that.
Yeah, that's it. One move and checkmate on the board. So let's play another game. 18 rounds hasn't finished. Until then, we're gonna play another game and see what happens. So we are playing with black pieces. We got the English opening here. Let's take the knight here. Push the pawn, open the diagonal for bishop. Here, and just castle. This pawn was hanging, just push to b6. Rook to b8. So let's push these pawns as well. Take this. Push this pawn. Just go back.
So now Carlsen is sole leader, followed by Daniil Dubov, who is half point behind, and there is no one with such points. Artemiev with 13 points is on the third place.
And we'll just push the pawn to b4. Let's go. Takes. You can't take it because there is pin on, c3. Let's go to maybe. I can push the pawn first. If I come here, we can take the pawn on b4. So let's move here. Let's go. This pawn is protected right now, and maybe we can come with our queen to the queen side and put it to a5. Potentially try just lock this position up. Let's go. This position is closed right now, and white does not have a clear way to come here. Take the pawn, or what do you think?
No, you need to go back with your knight here. Knight d4. Yeah, play knight d4. Yeah.
Okay. This
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and then bishop b5.
So we're gonna win an exchange here.
So, you may wonder why round 18 still didn't finish.
Yes.
So, there is a game of two Uzbeks. Rahmatullah Almas and Madaminov Muhaddin are still playing. And it looks like the former made a mistake in terms of that was not good with rules.
Okay.
And
we take the check.
the latter was added a minute. So they're still
let's take
playing.
the pawn on these three. Maybe infiltrate to c2. Maybe even push the pawn. Okay, let's just go to here and bring the queen to c4, maybe c5, maybe give check in the future. Let's just check.
So the games have come to an end.
All of them have
Yes.
come to an end, but there is going to be still some time left until the start of the next round. We're gonna give check from g4 here, and maybe checkmate. Oh, but not so fast actually. Maybe we're gonna let's trade queens here. No, he refused to exchange.
So just give a check from f1 with your queen. No, f1.
Oh.
Yes, that one.
And after check, queen will just. Oh, it's going forward. So maybe come here. So let's see. Maybe it'll come here, right? It's protecting it.
You check from h2.
Here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give check. It's got only this square to go. If I take this, what about now? Let's take it. Take this. No. We need to be so fast right now. We need to be fast, really fast. Let's take this. Oh, we just lost on time. We were up a rook.
So pairings have been announced.
So 19th round is
On the board 9, Abdusattar Norbek is playing against Jabava Badur.
okay. Good.
Sindar Jawahar in 13 against Dmitry Andreikin.
So, what about in the first one? In the first board, we're gonna see the battle of Magnus Carlsen and Richard Laporte here, and in the second one, a very strong grandmaster from China is gonna play against Daniel Dubov, a very strong one from Russia, and he's playing really well in both of Rapid and Blitz Championship. And previous leader of the tournament, Vladislav Artemiev, is facing Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. Arjun Erigaisi against Alexei Sarana. The games have started, so let's see. Magnus started the game with e4, e6, d4.
So French defense.
Yes.
Here it went with Slav defense.
Okay.
In the third board, it's also the same as the second table.
Mhm.
Alexei Sarana with Arjun Erigaisi,
All right.
d4, knight f6.
Now here, Alexei Sarana is thinking. So let's go to another Uzbek player's game, Nodrbek Sattorov, on the 9th board here.
So they went with Sicilian defense.
Okay. Jobawa Jabadur doesn't want to play for a draw. He wants to fight. He wants a fight here, because the Sicilian defense is something that people play for, to fight, not for like theoretical draws, like maybe Spanish. There are many ways to draw those games, those variations.
There's also Yanni Pomniachtchi playing.
Whoa, on the 6th board here.
Against Injic Alexander. They went with Spanish opening. They traded their some pieces.
At 6th board, I think the most not the most important, but the both names are well heard of, and they both are one of the greatest in the world, one of the best.
Rui Lopez was here. So now this line is opened for Rook.
Usman Yusupov is saying Daniel Dubov will win, I think, and it would be fair if he wins. Would be wonderful. Dakota is answering. Yeah, we are also expecting, and especially my partner. He's a fan of Daniel Dubov from this tournament. I don't know if he was before the tournament, and he is rooting for him, and maybe Daniel Dubov is going really good, and is he in the second place?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in the second place, half points behind from Magnus Carlsen, and maybe there are 3 rounds to go. If he plays really well, he can be the world Blitz champion. Take away the title from Magnus Carlsen, actually. So let's go to Jawahar Sindarov's game here. Okay, on the 14th or
So Daniel
13th board.
Dubov once was had Rapid Chess Championship
Uh-huh.
on 2018, but he hadn't won in
Blitz
Blitz
championship.
Championship.
So if he wins this championship, it will be like very good. For example, if he won the World Rapid Championship once, but he hasn't the Blitz Championship, so if he wins the one as well, it will be complete. So let's see on the 13th board where we have the game of Jawahar Sindarov and Dmitry Andryokhin. So let's see which openings did they play. E4, C5. So we got Sicilian defense. So here pawn didn't take pawn, just pushed forward. So the battle for the center here. Pawn takes pawn, bishop to G2. Now bishop to D2, castles. Okay, 13th board. Jawahar Sindarov. Here. Castles, rook to E1, centralizing the rook. A4, taking away space. And now B5. Probably, yeah. Pawn takes pawn, rook takes pawn, and this pawn will be under attack, but it's protected. Now Jawahar has got advantage on, and he has just played, I think, the best move here, and he has just won one pawn, one free pawn. Whoa, but doesn't
Yeah,
seem.
he shouldn't capture that with his knight. Um, could have played something like.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Osman Yusupov is writing, he's solid, fast, and genius. Okay, fair enough. If he wasn't, he would be in the second board here on the World Blitz Championship and playing against Yu Yang Yi. And he wouldn't be in the second place after Magnus Carlsen here.
so Injic
He certainly is.
Alexander and Ian Nepomniachtchi played draw.
So after how many moves?
They've played a lot.
They played a lot and fast,
Traded their pieces, as you can see.
one by one, one by one.
Yeah, so here.
Here they agreed to draw. They had one bishop and one knight and queen and 6 pawns each, and they agreed to draw. It's not uncommon for
Oh, here Magnus Carlsen is beating Richard Rappert.
after the opening. Oh,
So let's see where Hungarian Grandmaster made a mistake. Knight b6, bishop b3, knight d5.
so
So traded there some of the pieces. Rook e1. So it was here when the mistake was done. Where the mistake was made. Knight f5, king h8
mhm.
wasn't good. And instead, capturing the knight on f5
Mhm.
is seen as better option. Then that would capture the knight on b6. So they went with this. Now the pawn is lost on a5. Rook brought to e1.
Rook is also coming from E file.
So Duda Young Christoph won Muradli Muhammad.
Yes.
c4, just basic opening here. d5. As you see now, Duda Young Christoph has strong pawns here. He's now 2 pawns ahead.
Now White refused to exchange queens and just, wants to win the game.
So Rook f1 was played. I don't know the reason why.
Okay.
Maybe like too close this way. Maybe
Whoa.
h5, c3.
Now those pawns are marching forward, and there is no way to defend them from becoming queen. So it's clear why he won the game.
So Caruana Fabiano also lost his game against
Okay.
Maxim Vachier-Lagrave.
So we had Spanish here, and Maxim won this game. Fabiano lost it. This kind of positions, Fabiano has mastered them, played them many times.
Yeah, that's
He's
like
opening master from Spanish. He had a course in aim chess from this Spanish, like Archangel. He has such opening weapon with Spanish. He was master, but he lost his game against one of the best.
So playing well opening is not enough to win
Yeah.
the game. So yeah, that's like, as you can see, the 8th line is full controlled by White, and soon going to penetrate, as you can see, after some checks. And now the king here on a2
Okay.
is safe,
Mhm.
and there's soon going to be checkmate from h8 or from f8.
So knowing that, Fabiano just resigned the game.
So Daniil Dubov won his game.
So Daniel Dubov is going for it. He wants to be the champion, and he's winning. He's trying really hard. But on the other hand, Magnus Carlsen is also winning his game. He's not going to stop any soon. In order for Daniel Dubov to reach Magnus Carlsen, Magnus Carlsen needs to lose point in the next two rounds. He needs to draw one of his games, maybe lose it, in order for Daniel Dubov to go to the
So
first
look at
place.
this brilliant move. Bishop b4 after knight e7. Bishop b4 was just a great move. If that was captured, then knight e5, capturing the bishop
Uh-huh.
on d7, and then bringing bishop to e6. Just brilliant move was done here. Bishop c7, d5,
Uh-huh.
and then the rook is exchanged for just a bishop, and the game is fully controlled by the Russian grandmaster. Magnus
Now
Carlsen
they're
also won
attacking.
his game.
Yes. Vladislav Artemiev also won. Shakhtar Mamedyarov with the black pieces.
Yeah, that's like fully.
Now, Levon Aronian has also won his game, but on the other hand, another Uzbek grandmaster, Nurulbek Absattorov, has just lost his match against Jobava Badur on the 9th board here. And
So they went with this.
mm,
Have seen till here.
it's not good.
It was favoring white here
Mhm.
in this position. They change it, and Magnus Carlsen is now offering a trade of pieces, which is really good for him. Now he was planning to give a check like this,
Uh-huh.
then take queen from out there. But queen d5 was played, f3, f5, and that was followed by such moves.
One's just up 2 pawns and going to promote in the next few moves and just win the game. Magnus
And
just
so that
won
was a
the
mistake,
game.
and now Magnus Carlsen will just realize that
Yeah,
easily.
he's got 2 queens on the board. And maybe go to Jawahir's game and see what happened there. Jawahir on 13th board. Oh, on the top 15 boards, there were 2 grandmasters from Uzbekistan, Jawahir Sindarov and Nurulbek Absattorov, and both of them, lost their match, and that's not good. I think, the competition for top 3 is over for both Nurulbek and Jawahir, and for all Uzbek players here. Maybe there is hope in women's section. We don't exactly know that.
I think they are having last round after this, or this maybe.
Now 18th round has nearly finished, and after that there are going to be 3 rounds.
Only two left.
And
Only
so
two.
that we have 19th round right now.
Yes.
So there are only 2 rounds left. So we are going to take a little break here after some time.
Okay, so this round has already come to an end.
Uh,
Let's just see the women's section, just very fast.
yeah, let's see.
Who is leading here.
Do we have any chance?
Here.
Top on the top 9 boards, there is not any Uzbek top 10 as well, top 15 as well, top 20.
Yeah, 21.
Top 20 boards, there is not even any Uzbek, so they also don't have any chance to be in the top 3. So
We would like to thank you for being us throughout this whole tournament, both Rapid and Blitz.
yes,
Though there are 2 games left, you can just watch them on our Uzbek version, or just follow us on Telegram, UzChess Telegram.
channel. So thank you for being with us for these many days for the World Rapid and Blitz Championship 2023. It has been amazing. We have seen so many battles. As you see, Magnus Carlsen won the rapid part, and now maybe he will win the Blitz part as well. So now we are going to say goodbye, and now you can see the last 2 games on the UzChess Telegram and YouTube channel, and we are gonna say goodbye.
And also do not miss closing ceremony.
Yes.
Which is also going to be held today at 8 o'clock.
Yes.